Okay. This poem was actually written quite recently. It's a narrative, it's a story based on a real life case based on a young man who is from Somaliland, escaped civil war. I had the privilege of working with him on this recent project, and I had to my job was to convey his story into a creative art form, and he specifically wanted it in a spoken word format. So the result of that was this piece, and it's called Many Wars, No Cuts. One of the main things that sort of spoke to me about his story was the idea of survival, like the theme of surviving, despite what he had been through. I remember when, just before he began telling me his story, he said one thing to me. He said, "If I told you my story, you wouldn't even believe it." And after he told me his story, I said, "I don't believe you." It was just too much. But the one remarkable thing that sort of came out of that was the fact that he had survived so much. And I think this speaks to the Somali community as a people just had survived so much adversity. So the story is called, the poem is called Many Wars, No Cuts. If you've never seen a blessing on legs, then the story goes as such. The footsteps followed from a long time ago, before time could grasp what I'd then come to know. When I asked, would these skies cover me? In what would become of me? Before bullets left their places, not recognizing one face, that face was mine, that face was mine. When deserts had mercy on one pair of lungs, those lungs were mine, those lungs were mine. When bodies would rust and death was a must, we saw many wars, but no cuts. We approached the Red Sea, lands torn with blood. Welcome to the world, son, and off to the south we'd run, only to find that wars had legs too, for it looks like it followed us here through. The air must be tired from the sounds of these shots. Then these innocent eyes got to know many wars, but no cuts. Fleeting from these grief-stricken lands, and it looks like I must go back, for I heard that mother's sick and my heart is attacked. Dry deserts stand before, but this mission is so big that I start to move forth, gaining grounds and coffin dust, lonely hearts, confused eyes, and it looks like we're seeing things. For these water bottles are certainly empty, but this heat is playing tricks. Poor boy, he died drinking what he believed was water. But me, I can't complain, for when bullets left their place, not recognizing one face, that face was mine, that face was mine. When deserts had mercy on one pair of lungs, those lungs were mine, those lungs were mine. When bodies would rust and death was a must, we saw many wars, but no cuts. You fall in love with freedom when you come to know prison. I'll say that again. You fall in love with freedom when you come to know prison. When days pass through you and many suns have risen without your knowledge. Tied hands against locked doors, a confined mind decides not to run anymore. My feet are sore, I've been running for so long. It was here that I settled, became friends with the symbol of peace, believing in the day that I'd see my release, and I remembered that when bullets left their place, not recognizing one face, that face was mine, that face was mine. When bodies would rust and death was a must, we saw many wars, but no cuts. These wandering roads have me wondering, will all my while lead to that last mile where I'll grip the tips of mother's feet and see the curves of my heaven, my mercy, the inspiration that lifts up the earth? Did those deserts even know it's her face that I thirst? Maybe one of these footsteps would shake the earth enough to let her know that I'm coming, for I'm dreaming of that welcome, and I'm believing in that time when her love would shield me from these lands that almost killed me. When bullets left their places, not recognizing one face, that face was mine, that face was mine. When deserts had mercy on one pair of lungs, those lungs were mine, those lungs were mine. When bodies would rust and death was a must. We saw many wars, but no cuts.
So now we're going to have music. A break. 10-minute break, and then we're back with Nimo Degan.